Oh yeah, here we go. Let's get centered up. Got my cup with me for Father's Day. The best cup, I tell you, that I've ever gotten in my life. It's the best. It's a nice cup to enjoy after a long day's work. Well, the work never stops, so the crypto never sleeps. And you know this. That's why we're here. Crypto degen late night streams. We're going in deep. But we got the markets waking up, and damn, we've been pretty on the spot with where the markets are going in general. This is kind of crazy, you guys. You remember me talking today on the blockchain basement about this level and the potential of it being attracted more so to this upper volume node. We are almost there, baby. It has since violently upswung from this ascending support line that I'm using, and we are knocking on the upper node door. Now it's taking a little breather here. We'll see if it runs out of juice. We're right at that precipice where, if you see here, we are on the precipice of falling back down into, obviously, a quick ride to this volume node, which is 41.7. But as it sits right now, Bitcoin don't give no Fs. And this is the juicy chaos that I wanted to see coming from the markets. I have had this feeling going into this next bull run, through the last cycle, that, there was going to be a cycle that trumps them all, pun intended. Right. And I think that we are brewing for a situation of that making. If we can make it to the halving somewhere around a $50,000, maybe $60,000 Bitcoin, that is no holds bars for the potential of our altcoins, all those degen picks we've been making. Shout out to everyone that's yes, thank you, Zach Nasty. It's a big black microphone. I don't know what this is. This is a Shure. Shure is the standard brand. Oh man, I'm breaking this thing. I'm going. Let's see if it'll fall off. But thinking of going long on AVAX at $38. Let's see here. AVAX, just so everyone knows, I did say this a few times, but I had taken some profits on AVAX. Took some profits at like $36, $37. Now everything that I have riding on it is just basically the moon bag, which feels good. Feels good to build a little moon bag. Let's see if I can get. I want to go into Blofin real quick. Let's see here, because I had an AVAX chart up already, but AVAX going long right here, man. It's kind of chaotically in my mind. Like I'm kind of feeling the same thing, because Bitcoin is showing not much signs of weakness here. Here's AVAX. Let's pull up this, make this a little bit larger. Really, really chaotic MACD action here. This is nice. This is nice for winding up for an even more chaotic move. It does have this large amount of volume at $21. It's still sitting above, but man, it is moving. If we see Bitcoin reclaim that 44,000 and beyond, it's no holds bar for AVAX, for Solana. We're going to be looking at some aggravating levels of gains for those layer ones. If Bitcoin can reclaim and exceed this level and make it up to the 45 spot, essentially everything from there is a real good target at 46, and then of course 48, which everyone knows. But looking at this graph, it doesn't look like we're losing much steam here. I mean, yeah, that was a heck of a hiccup, but a pretty precise catch right here. And my God, oh my God, I'm glad I said that I was watching this level to take the trade. I actually longed on loop ring and did pretty good instead. Not nearly as well as I would have done if I would have just taken my own damn advice right here. But honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, like it came $50 short of my hammering moment, and I am pretty particular on those entry points. So, didn't lose much. Honestly, AVAX right now, I would want to see 3 or 4 more days of kind of sideways action, a little bit of spring buildup, a little bit of support there before I'd be looking at that. But that time for it is coming. What's up, everyone in the chat? Crimson Caravan, R.A. Daniel, Jason Mack, Anthony Papasolis. What's up? Oh yeah, Ant. Yeah, I know you on Twitter. Chili Rainbow, of course, with the sack he sent in. Fantastic work. Psychedelic Astronaut. Homo sapiens. We have a situation where Bitcoin seemingly has no chill. There's a reason for that. We'll get into it. There's honestly quite a bit of news that I didn't get a chance to cover today. So I got that pulled up as well. Here is Crypto Bubbles, just showing Beam really, Beam and Bonk really punching out of the limelight here. ICP, a fun little hold. Let's find out more. Basically my portfolio has all been doing really good except for Maple. As I talked about on the week, it's down by 16%. Still holding decent, but I bought at 20, so that's not feeling great, but it is still relative for RWAs. So Maple, it is a good buy opportunity, even better than mine. Avalanche, look at that, busting up into the $39 range as we speak. ICP, though, this has been a good looker today, up 13% on the day, and on the week up 30.8. On the month, we're looking at 44% gains. So not bad in ICP. It's just a little side portfolio I got. Not too much, but it is making a move. It's nice to see this project waking up. I like the intention of ICP. I think that they have really good developers. I think that there's a good community behind it, and you have a good, healthy amount of FUD, right? That's always important to have some good FUD mixed into the batch. But yeah, ICP has been just kind of like this thing where I buy it anytime it's within $3 and things go well. If you see on the year, the $3 signal is as simple as I can put it. You had $3.60 right here. I went down to $3.50, the lowest there. Another $3 down to $3.60 spike. Here was the best trough to buy in. I actually did hammer in pretty well here with just a small bag. So it's up pretty good. Feeling good about that one. Just a little addition to the overall portfolio. The markets are brewing. I was looking back and comparing my portfolio. Should I have left it in Bitcoin since the time that I decided to kind of call an early altcoin rally-ish type situation? Man, it would have been a lot different situation than I'm in right now, which it just goes to show, so you can have all these people that, are so sure about time frames and stuff, but then the gut feeling, that matters too. That matters too, especially if you're able to take in information about macroeconomics and all kinds of different angles that, the money world comes from. Then, sometimes you just got to listen to your gut and not really, just say yes, sir, to the talking heads. What we're seeing right now is this crypto bubbles. This doesn't say nothing will. This is the rumblings of a bull market coming back to us right now, staring people in the face. Psychedelic Astronaut, me too. I didn't lose that much. That's a good story. So ICP was it was a really risky play last market, not right? I mean, you had a really fast downward price action when it initially launched, all from that arbitrage from Alameda. And this is something that's worth talking about. So this portfolio, originally I only got into ICP with a few $100s, right? And I bought a few tokens, maybe 4 or 5 tokens, right around the $150 mark, $100 mark. I was trying to DCA my way out of the pain. Didn't work. Realized things were going really wrong right about here. Once we lost that kind of reclaiming of any sort of hope of an uptrend, that's when I cut my losses on ICP. And it was definitely for the better in hindsight, right? And when I did it, I cut my losses. I was like, oh man, I'm missing out on futuristic, amazing gains and all that stuff. But the overall feeling that the bear market was returning was foreboding on the markets, and I had to acknowledge it. So when I saw that it lost this chance to resurge, it's time to cut losses. Then, fast forward, go all the way through this pain, all the way down. We're in the hell of $5, $4, $3. And then you kind of show what's going on now since right around, let's see here, this begins December 2022. So this is just about a year exactly of data. And you can see it's really not that bad of a graph. So that's what I kind of learned my lesson on that one. Yeah, and after watching the price action for long enough, then I was comfortable hammering into it with a reasonable amount. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, enough to buy 6 Taco Bell tacos if it moons for me. It's definitely, a helpful amount, but it's a risky play. I fully acknowledge that. It's just going for a lot. Yeah, good to see the crew here. I used to live in Cali. Thank God I'm out of there because that was the reason. Chili Rainbow. California, yeah, what a thing. I have some friends out in California that, I have a buddy that's trying to start a family out there, and, he makes good money, but it ain't good enough for what you need in that area. Silicon Valley. I saw Silicon Valley people coming to Colorado. They basically cooked the Boulder housing market to the moon. I saw the housing market in Boulder like 3 or 4x in 7-8 years, not that long of a time span. It's crazy to think about when you see different huge corporations moving to locations, that changes the game for, who's buying what, how fast it goes on the market. Protect your catalytic converter. I've seen people welding basically rebar blocks, rebar little cages around their catalytic converters. So fucked up, man. That's just go to the woods. What is the infatuation? I know it's nice having city stuff to drive to, but you don't need to live inside of there. Here's something I didn't cover today. Ex-Facebook diversity manager pleads guilty to stealing $4 million from the company. Good to know. It's another fine example of the way the world's just kind of cooking these days. There is a couple more macro things I wanted to touch on. And again, I touched on the fact, we definitely have a hill to dance on in the basement for calling the early altcoin rally. Flat out. Also, the Fed pivot, right? Been saying May, June for a long time. We showed this quickly on the show today. This is the market pricing in basically cuts, 125 base point cuts coming in by mid 2024. But there's a reason. If you coincide, this is the CME futures, Federal Reserve, future analysis people. But then you cook in just some social macro news into that of why the markets are going to go nuts. Trump highlighting failed Bidenomics. This is going to crush the Dems in the election. The Bidenomics tagline and the gaslighting of people day to day has ruined any chance they have. The Rock could be a strong contender, but people are pissed. I don't think, who's a better businessman, The Rock or Trump? So, this essentially has spurred Trump to pledge a kickstart the economy type program before Christmas of 2024. What does that mean? That means that they're going to pull every single lever left on the train that is the United States macroeconomic dollar and power structure, and they're basically going to have to print into infinity. And where this leads is a digital dollar. They'll say things went haywire, probably use the little excuse of some European country getting hit with the cyber attack that they're priming the entire public for. And, it's so funny seeing all of these different movies coming out priming people for mass coronal ejections, massive power outages, all of this stuff in the background, it really starts to make you think, you know what I mean? Like, there's a cohesion to media. It's like media imitates life. We have this coming out. Next movie that they're pushing on us is just exactly every real patriot, every true American that does not want bloodshed and wants, peace, prosperity, and the right to freedom. A new civil war coming to America. That'll be releasing in 2024. Just more predictive programming for the masses to enjoy as they consider beating each other up over politics over the next few years once they become so polarized they can't see straight, just like they did a few years ago. But people have a short attention span. So it's coming. And what they're going to do to fix the problem, to make sure that they can keep society together as a whole as best as possible, is to basically inject the concoction of quantitative easing and treasury repos that they know so well. The bank term funding program, it ends in March of 2024, which is what initially spurred me to look at the larger thesis of the Fed running out of ammunition to hold rates high for the short term and have to come back down in that ebb and flow that we did see in the 70s to 80s time frame, which everyone uses as an argument where we're going straight to 18%. No, there's a little dip and then we get effed. So we have this time frame right now in crypto where we are in the markets to take advantage of. I saw this post from Lark really rang true to the time frame. I'm feeling like F, you guys, F. It's hard to explain or even understand how insane this all is. This is a once-in-a-market liquidity event. Bitcoin ETFs, then Ethereum ETFs, then his guess is other big altcoins. These are going to be Solana. They've already mentioned Link ETFs as the next potentials. Insane to see, and potentially even Avalanche. We've heard Avalanche, Link, and Solana potentials beyond Ethereum and Bitcoin. Tens of billions, that's a low estimate. Like if all these things happen, we're looking at a conservative $6 to $7 trillion crypto market cap. That's conservative AF if you account for getting approval for Bitcoin and Ethereum just in and of themselves, not to mention the altcoin markets. It's going to pump. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he's talking about the comparison. What we're used to here in the crypto market is like over the past year, maybe you got in at like the downside of the last bull market where all the attention was. But this has all been at tops $3 trillion. Like, if we get a $7 trillion market cap, that opens a good runway for Bitcoin to achieve that 250K per token price tag within 2025. That's not that far away. And beyond that, then that's where the top 10, these top aggressive layer ones are going to be hitting those $100 billion, $200 billion market caps. It's not too far out of reach. And really, I agree with Lark, man. Like, I'm having to admit it, like, it's feeling like a once in a lifetime mega bull. I know it's like super cliche, but they have literally run out of mechanisms to psyop the public with. And I constantly make the argument, like, if people use this, like, the power structures are just going to hold on to their control and stuff like that. Like, think about how fast my communication out to all of you is, and how fast all of your communication out is to all of your friends, right? Our communication moves quickly. The revolution notably started in bars. So that was in-person communication. Now we have direct, almost near in-person communication with notification bells. We can get this info out fast. It spreads quickly, and it is uncontrollable to a degree. Yes, we saw the rails, blocking flu season, but then we found different ways to communicate via memes, and then they would find ways to algorithmically figure those out, so then we'd find something else. The push for control always just furthers the push for advancement, as the human spirit is not done giving a fight. It's just not. I know that there's a lot of, kind of defeatist out there, everything we've seen. But man, like, we're not in that mindset. We're here to fight back. We're here to change our lives. And really on the infrastructure of banks and their insolvency potentials. Now we even see the Bank of International Settlements setting it up for central banks to be able to hold up to 2% of their reserves in crypto starting January of 2025. Very interesting timing, right? So January 2025, we theoretically should be, reaching somewhere around the top, a few months away. And the Bank of International Settlements has just made this permittal allowance for this 2% crypto reserve to be exposed to banks. Now, I think the larger the market cap, and if we do have that Bitcoin ETF and that Ethereum ETF, yeah, it's going to cook us up to a really strong level. But then the volatility goes down, especially when international central banks become involved, right? They're longer term, and a lot of the pain points for just macroeconomics in general has been that loss of value backing whatever currency it is that you're talking about. Whether you're talking about the US dollar, we can rail about that one till the cows come home. But more, primarily like in more urgently is it talks about what's the fiat currency in Turkey going to look like? What's the fiat currency in all of these different nations that are absolutely crumbling, and they're allies with very strong nations still that will step in. And, as we've seen, nations are stepping in, right? We'll get into that in a second. Had some movements on the spot Bitcoin ETF ticker updates for Bitwise. ETF has now been listed on the DTCC under BitB. So there it is. More Bitcoin tickers for these spot Bitcoin trusts opening up, being noticed. We have this from Franklin Templeton as well, meeting with the SEC along with the reports that we came out with on BlackRock, meeting with the SEC, figuring out the exact way to go about the Bitcoin ETF application as to make all the parties involved real happy. And it's incredible to see all of these banks hoorah and come together for each other, right? Not so much when it's middle and lower class getting crushed, but that's where we come in. That's where we come in and be like, hey, we can front run the biggest asset managers on the planet, and we have been, and it's going to get even better. That's a good feeling. So we have this. Speaking of nation states helping each other out. For some reason, Ukraine's the U.S. border, and the Senate has passed a nearly $1 trillion defense bill just now to add to the total debt, of course, but this will be moved over to the Ukraine. If you want a really good encompassment of what's going on right now, this is December 12th. Zelensky meeting with U.S. arms manufacturers, Washington, D.C., official date December 11th. Here he is pictured alongside executives from Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, and others. Look like many lucrative business opportunities still ahead for valued partners. These are the people that are making trillions off of the deaths on both sides. These are the people that are in charge of that. Well, not really in charge of it, but furthering it along. Pawns, useful pawns in an expensive game. And expensive meaning lives primarily and fiscally as well. So, with all of these things going on, they're going to be moving into that. On the side that gives me like just an inch of hope, but then I go back into my salty libertarian mindset the moment after I stop thinking about it, because it's probably not going to move fast enough to mean anything. But the U.S. has begun to vote and formally open up an impeachment inquiry into robot number 7 of Joe Biden's likeness. So we'll see where they take this. This just broke right before, it was about 6 p.m. tonight. We'll see if they do anything tangible with this. Honestly, I'm salty enough to believe that there will be nothing done about it. And he will probably get to spend his tenure just riding into the sunset or potentially falling or stumbling or whatever have you that he does. But that's just the thing. It's too little, too late. It's too little, too late for those types of, good feelings to come back as far as our, country having, a spine. It needs to be reawakened in a big way. So we've gone over kind of the general where I think the markets are. Now I want to look at something I meant to bring up on the show today. Now, obviously we're talking about the Solana tokens like WIF, and I think the other was like cat with hat and then dog with hat. Really kind of crazy stuff going on in the Solana ecosystem. But AVAX is pumped by 300%, similar to Solana. Now where are these tokens that are within the ecosystem? We talked about Trader Joe. Lots of potential with Trader Joe already. You know that I already like Shard, but let's take a look at some of these other ones. This is from Pepeso, Ox Pepeso. Price of AVAX has already tripled, but the ecosystem continues to gain momentum. That's why there are many high potential tokens here in the AVAX eco. Let's check it out. We got Bearcoin AVAX. Ticker Bear, a meme coin named after Avalanche co-founder Kevin Sekniji's dog Bear. Okay. Market cap 2.7 million. Gives you a very front-end information. This is high risk stuff. Does have a decent amount of liquidity, it looks like, on the get-go. Weapon, mega weapon, a shooter that offers intense multiplayer action for players worldwide. This might be a competitor to Shrapnel here. Used within the game. The weapon token is used within the game to customize NFTs. Interesting. We know that's been an interesting thing. People, they definitely spend money on skins within these games. I never understood it, but it happens. The mega weapon. Let's see what the market cap is. Yeah, 16 mil. And we got another one here. Eggs. Okay. They call this a new Ponzi on AVAX. What the hell? It's getting weird. This is kind of this brand new $321,000 market cap. Very risky. And I preface all these things. I'm looking at them with the mindset, maybe a little touch. Just, like half of 1% of my portfolio is what I'd be looking at it for any one of these types of projects. They're interesting to look at, and sometimes they work out pretty well, as we've seen with the Solana ecosystem. We have this 3ULL, Playa 3ULL Games. Looks like it's just more gaming infrastructure. $58 million market cap, much bigger. And Husky. We got AVAX Husky, well-known meme coin on AVAX. This is one I've heard a little bit about before. That just kind of rung a bell. It's only at $11 million market cap. Let's see if we can go here. I want to find where this one is, because I know Husky's been around. I've seen people talking about it, like actual humans, so it's always nice when they're not dorky robots. But God, this thing, yeah, that's why I heard about it. Look at this. Unbelievable. Absolutely moving here. Let's see here. So this is time frame from November of this year. So kind of the start of November is where things really kicked off for this. Only 2 short months. This does look like the beginnings of a better type of meme coin chart. One thing I'm noting is that this is expected. Like the FOMO, the realization, the fun newness of it comes. It hits this crazy amount for valuation and then falls back down. Now, usually in meme coins, they come and they die very soon. This one, instead of dying, has decided to clamber for life, and actually has had an up day since that big blow off top. This does not look bad at all. Like, let's see here. You had, I mean, it didn't really punch all the way down right there, but I'm just trying to level out right here. High risk, definitely high risk, you guys. Keep that in mind. And you don't see the volume is pretty low on it right now, so we want to watch the volume levels. Only at about 100K right now. So, but once I see that interest in that volume starting to move, see a little bit more traction on the system being utilized, I'm going to be looking at something like that. The Avalanche ecosystem, Shrapnel, definitely one on my radar. Let's see where Shrapnel is. I can create, because I looked at this chart last week and really couldn't come up with my exact preferred end, because it's a new project. I don't have much data to go off on this. This is only a month worth of data, essentially. Looks like a pretty dang healthy little shelf here. A healthy shelf. $92 million market cap already. God damn! That thing moved fast. Yeah, but it's a great looking game. It really is a great looking game. It has a chance to actually be played. That's one thing. The graphics had to be good, and it's a first person shooter. Husky trash, all about the COQ. Okay. R.I.P. Bill Paxton. Did Bill Paxton die? Is he already dead? That was that movie Tornado. Dude, there's been some tornadoes recently that have been crazy. I don't know if you guys have been, if you follow any of the kind of extreme storm people. I'll pull it up here in a second. This was absolutely crazy. It happened to, I think 2 days ago. This is Reed Timmer. This is a dash cam video from a fellow that got stuck in an EF3 tornado, turned around and turned right into the tornado. Literally, like, right into it. Almost got wrecked. Like, there's huge pieces of debris coming at this guy during this. This is absolutely crazy to see. Yeah, there's just many reasons to have preparedness, generators and food, man. You never know when you're gonna have a freaking tornado coming at you as well. On top of everything, you got Bidenomics and tornadoes. Cows flying around, and it's not even tornado season. Yeah, that's been kind of weird. That's kind of weird, Big Daddy, right? I remember I was working in Denver. I think it was about 10 years ago. Maybe like 9 years ago. And there was a tornado in like the city of Denver. But then it got even weirder. This year, they've had tornadoes in the mountains. I've never, ever heard of tornadoes in the Colorado mountains, like near Long's Peak. It's a 14,000 foot high peak, and it had tornadoes going on. It's very, very strange. Thanks a lot, Obama. That's right, Crimson. Thanks a lot, Obama. Now we have tornadoes. Bidenomics, our pets' heads are falling off. Unbelievable. Let's see here. I want to go over the rest of the stuff here. I mean, God, the Bitcoin graph is just so gravitating. And I got to tell people where to follow me. Make sure to follow me, you guys, on the Twitter. I got to start growing this account a little bit more, paying a little more attention to it. The Druth, at Druth Crypto. I live in Antarctica, allegedly. You can come find me here. Come find my Rumble channel. Definitely put out some stuff there. But let's go back. Let's see how ETH to Bitcoin is looking. Get out of my face. So this is ETH to Bitcoin. Trading view is so weird sometimes with the advertisements. Oh my God, they make it basically unusable on me. Oh, this is the worst day of my life. All right, we're just looking at Bitcoin. Here we go. Shaving a little bit. Okay, we're shaving a little bit. Got the MACD coming down. Looks like that wave's kind of tired. This wave's looking a little tired here. Looking to curl over. Yeah, you might be looking at a scalp. Might be looking at a scalp down to this 42.3. Just a little bit one. In general, if we hold above that 42.3 spot, though, I'm feeling good. There's going to be... They're running out of FUD to throw at us, I feel like. Like, they got CZ out. Sam's gone. That fat scammer with cum all over his face is gone. So now, like, what's left? We just have crypto. We have ETFs. We have good old-fashioned gains. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of... other than the cyber thing, but, if that goes down, you have bigger problems than your crypto bags being down. So it's always useful to take profits and buy hard iron goods and generators beforehand, just in case. Got a shockwave. I want to go shooting that thing. But yeah, Bitcoin, not really looking to give up much power. Now, obviously, we'll see what this turnaround. This is on the 1 hour. Let's go down to the 15, see how it's looking here. PLC on the 15, sitting at, on the visible range profile, sitting right at 41.8. Just getting through, but the moving average, yeah. It really doesn't look that bad. It really doesn't look that bad. This is the 15-minute. I like using the 15-minute a lot, and I like the 5-minute here. Let's back up, see what we got here. Again, this does not look bad at all. This does not look too shabby, folks. I just, I hate to break, because the bears are talking like, I don't know, some skewed version of Head and Shoulders in this. Trying to lump all that together. Just not seeing it here. The main thing I'm seeing is this previous channel holding on like a boss. Unbelievable. God, this might be like the perfect level to bounce just off of and just scalp. I'm hoping that we range here hard. I'm hoping for a hard ranging. not quite ready to bust up and beyond that into the 48K level yet. Because if Bitcoin does bust up into that 48K level, we're going to miss $60 Solana. We're going to miss $14, $15 chain link. Like, we're right on the edge of really causing some max pain for bears. It's difficult for a tornado to form in a mountain. Right, Crimson? That's what I thought. I'm no sort of scientist, but I ain't never heard of a tornado in the mountains. That's how we say mountains in Colorado. Yeah, so let's see here. Oh, yeah. You guys are crazy. Yeah. All right. Yo. Oh, my God. Yeah, it is sad. JP, it is so sad. It is so sad. Like, what's wrong with just doing the right thing by people? You know what I mean? Like, is that really so hard? Is it really so hard? No. Good thing for me is the bar's really low because all I have to do is not be a total jackass, not scam. That's all it takes. I do want to get an MRAP, though. I want to buy a tank or like an MRAP. And I also have crazy ideas. I really want to buy the land behind me and put up a little bunker, a little area. Maybe expand the chicken capabilities. I mean, I could have more chickens, but they're just, once you get too many, then my neighbor's selling his land. I don't want to make him mad, just creating this gigantic flock of chickens just running around, taking over the whole place. Shout out, there's almost 100 of you guys, 75 of you up in here hanging out with me. This is good stuff, you guys. Really where I'm feeling, the max pain would be if we don't get lower entry points on good projects we already know are going to be ripping. I think we felt, in general, I feel really good about the ecosystem within Solana, Avalanche. Still feel good about Maple or just RWA focused projects in general. Avalanche is plugged into that RWA sector. I did see the front end rumblings. We're going to see Cardano chiming in, building protocols for RWAs as well. It's kind of interesting to think about. What I'm seeing right now is more the talking points of what these figureheads are actually saying is that they prefer tokenized assets, not just an ISO 2022 whatever to take over the whole industry, the whole system, right? I hold XRP still because there's still a good potential that XRP can be chosen by like a specific nation or something like that. And yeah, like really, just thinking about that in general, like there is that chance. And I've always held XRP for the chance that it can do that, right? And it's a great novel idea, right? To redo the plumbing of the financial infrastructure. Great. But then you get slapped in the face with reality. So that's always something I try to take into account. Maple, that was an interesting one. The real thing that stuck out with Maple is tokenizing T-bills. The Treasury, the U.S. Treasury, having the ability to offload and sell T-bills through Maple as a real-world asset, not to mention all the other stuff they're looking to do with real estate, tokenization, all that stuff, great. But the fact that that Circle working with Maple and the avenue being opened up for them to have T-bills, tokenized, that told me a little bit of something. But then the overscope of what I felt good about it was, and why I'm not worried about the dip that we have right now. It is a dip. Like, let's look at this dip. So, I thank God I've been talking about it through this whole time. I finally decided to buy some, like right around, it was like $20 or something like that. It was expensive. Here's the all-time though. Not that bad. The reason why I felt okay is because guess what? That's a sign of life. This is a sign of it poking above the water. And the thing about this project is it was a lending protocol, in a very similar situation and ability to Celsius, but it didn't overextend itself and it didn't lose its ass, with insolvency, essentially, and cooking the books. Celsius cooked the books. They committed crimes, and that really jacked over a lot of people, a lot of larger institutions that were like, man, this is a really novel idea, crypto lending and the blockchain DeFi system, great. But, what do we got with Celsius? We have a complete joke, a fraud. And then, having Maple come out, because it's been around through the last bull market, it had a good move the last bull market. Nothing huge, right? It released at $18, pumped it to 60, but you got to keep in mind, Maple was a fart in the wind to the mainstream public, or even crypto people in general, during that last bull market. But now that we have the dust settled, Celsius is gone, and they're going to be looking for places that can honestly and truthfully lend and have transparency with their backings. Maple's being one of that. I bought right around, I think about like $3K worth. So I'm down like $600 on it as it sits right now. I've bought $3K, down by $600, but I've been in crypto for long enough where it's just like, meh. And, while that's happening, I was having a really good time on Avalanche. Now the Avalanche bag is a moon bag, but I'm probably going to add to it. It just is so painful buying more Avalanche at freaking, what is this? 38.66. Let's see what we're at. Yeah, 38.66. This is unreasonable. These prices are too damn high. Let's see. I never do this. I should see who's at the top. Injective. God, this thing has been moving. Crypto Stevo doing well with this one. Holy hell. I know TJ was real big on it. Oh, no. Something died. Come back. No. It died on me. Injective, I know TJ was big on. And Crypto Stevo. I thought it was pretty interesting when we read about it, but never bought into it. And this thing is just sick. Absolute price discovery. Absolute price discovery. What a beautiful graph. These are the types of canaries in the coal mine you notice when the markets are getting ready to absolutely boil over. This is the juicy times. Like I remember after these types of moments, felt like we saw Doge just come out of nowhere and Chainlink absolutely ripping, in the last bear market. Bitcoin's still hanging around somewhere around like 10, 9K. Nothing really exciting, but it started having that upward momentum and reclaiming some of these lost levels that people thought were long gone after COVID, right? Then we see things like this with Injective. This is a spark that is, in essence, I can compare it to a psychological spark within the rest of the markets. They see these little pockets of huge gains and good protocols, taking in users, locking down that total value locked into their ecosystem and developing, and they move into them. It's just how it happens. You know what I mean? So Injective, God, if I get any sort of nasty pullback on this, the new hopeful level on Injective is $21.90. Man, trying to mine helium got me hosed. I tried to buy a few helium miners from SP North America. It was a huge scam, like the biggest scam. And they use that excuse, I'm sorry, we don't have the PCB boards because of COVID, China, logistics. Really, it was just that they were scamming people, taking their money, acting like, yeah, I'll give you a product when they had no intention to ever do so. It's happened to me. And now the lawsuit's gone, getting forgotten. All the regular people that got hosed about it, they don't get shit. You know what I mean? And then, no justice is really done. So, that pisses me off. Still to this day, God, I can't believe it. You just plug it and forget it. I know HNT miner, but the hardware was a scam. The network is not a scam. I will say that. The network is not a scam. It was SP North America more particularly. It's one of those situations you got to Voscoin, he was really huge last cycle. And I was watching one video about him, about Bitcoin mining and all this stuff, just, getting a feel for different miners. I was actually looking at mining Ethereum at the time, helium was just a new thing that came out, and I tried to get in on it, couldn't ever get those things delivered to me, and lost in the wind. But helium, it's a novel idea. It's just, I think they missed out on the logistics for rural locations, creating those network nodes, essentially. So, keep that in mind. If you're in a city, a densely populated city, and there's a lot of them, it can be pretty lucrative. But, it just depends on where you live. Personally, I'm in the city, or not the city. I'm in the woods, so it really wouldn't do anything out here. There's not a bunch of people mining cryptos in North Georgia. I'll guarantee you that. So we have that. Let's see if I want to look at the rest of the market, see what else is cooking here, you guys. So we got to pay attention. I want to see what the biggest losers are. Where might the opportunity to hammer in? I had that Aptos token unlock, probably playing a little bit into this pullback. Still up by 14% on the week, so not much give there. Cosmos. Cosmos. Still sitting here. Nick was talking to me about this. We've talked about Cosmos quite a bit. Interesting to see that it is not too far up while the rest of the market has absolutely been crushing. I mean, from $6 to $11, it's doubled. So not too bad, but honestly, there is a lot of bit. But the tokenomics, they still are not getting figured out. That's why we're choosing things like Injective, run on it, or Osmosis, right? Maybe Osmosis might be a better look. Let's go here. I'm looking at this today. So what I'm looking for is signs of weakness, signs of I can get good entry. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of weird. This would be a hell of a sleeper to use. Man, this would be a hell of a sleeper to use if people start using the Osmo protocol more so. That's well down there. All right, let's go and see what other blood in the water is lurking. What do we got here? XDC, not too far up. It's funny, like the losers are just barely up. Arbitrum's still very buyable. Optimism, dang, I took some profits on Optimism. I got it for like $1.40. Just did a quick small flip on it. Optimism has been a much more exciting graph to trade than Arbitrum for sure, but I think Arbitrum might actually outdo Optimism when the bell tolls. So we have this showing you the price action. It's been it launched at $1.40 down to 50 cents immediately. Then, lots of really good trading chop all the way up to $3 just above. Now we're creating, if you look at this force through the trees here, okay, folks, we got higher lows. We got higher lows all the way up through here. So that one looks nice and cozy. The upside opportunity might be leaning on Arbitrum for the time being. $1.16 Arbitrum, has always been a comfortable level for me. And, made good money. Another kind of just a quick hold and sell trade on Arbitrum I took was it was like 95 cents and then got out right at about $1.20. So I got in right in one of these little spike downs. It wasn't actually, it was back here. It was about 96 cents. And it was a good little flip. It's nothing huge. The reason why I feel the way about, God, but it's so loaded because you got base running on OP. We can't discount that. We just have not seen the full utilization, the full use case of the OP token on the base blockchain yet. They simply have not fixed. That might be coming. There's a lot of lending and good DeFi protocols built on Arbitrum, which is why I was kind of thinking it might be the faster horse when all this is said and done. But OP, to play this safe and to make sure I'm wrong in the right way, I'm probably going to have to buy both. To be honest with you, that's a toss-up right there on who's going to capture all that action. That is a total toss-up, I would say. So, that's where we are kind of in general with the market, you guys. One more flash view on Bitcoin before we go tonight. Still hanging out. right here at this level. As long as we hold above this 42,373 by morning time, I'm feeling dang good. Now, if we drop that and cut back down into this chop zone, don't be surprised if we get captured and find ourselves filling that CME gap, which sits at $39,700. So with all of that, I hope you guys are doing well. An absolute shout out to everyone out here in the chat. I got to get your guys' token requests. We got eGold I should be looking at. Let's see here. VeChain you might be talking about. VThor. Nodal. You bought all the L2s. Good job. Yeah, that's kind of, I have held all the L2s. I've just been trading them in and out, but I need to calm down and kind of build my hold bag on those. Yeah, the Absolute Bungalow Bill, Veteran Crypto, Vegan GP, Crimson Caravan Company, Houseless Hooligan. Whoa. R.A. Daniel. We are all spirits of the same being. We're out here just making it. We're changing our lives. We're in the crypto realm while everyone else thinks it's crazy and a scam. Meanwhile, we have tripled, darn near tripled on the year from our lows. The masses are going to be waking up to this, especially as their inflation starts to tear them apart through the course of 2025. Man, like, this is the time frame to build that wealth, that generational wealth, and really be a steward for communities, man. And then they're going to look to you for that guidance. And guess what? Decentralization is where we found the absolute power on our monetary side. And we can decentralize our power structures as well. It's not going to be easy. We're in here for the battle. This is the blockchain boogaloo. So we're getting after it. But you guys are all absolutely awesome. The Deadwood, M. Vino. Thanks for the super chat, $0. J. Rowe, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. We out here always and every day. So kept it almost within an hour. Actually, basically right within an hour. Love it. Crypto concerned citizens. I love that. The technological tea party. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you in the morning. We'll be setting up the live stream. See if any big news breaks overnight. I know Johnny is diving deep into everything happening on the markets right now as we speak, getting ready for the morning. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be seeing you on the other side. Peace.